Marc Marquez has been praised many times throughout his extraordinary career, but the admiration he received after his phenomenal 2025 MotoGP season hit differently. Because this time, the praise didn't just come from fans, journalists, or fellow riders, it came from the absolute giants of world sport. And when legends like Rafael Nadal, Pau Gasol, Fernando Alonso, Andres Iniesta, and Alexia Putellas all speak about one athlete with the same tone of respect, the world pays attention. The 2025 MotoGP season wasn't just another comeback for Marc Marquez. It was a resurrection, a statement, a thunderous reminder that the greatest riders don't fade away quietly, they rise, fight, break limits, and rewrite history. And Marquez did exactly that by delivering a season so dominant, so emotionally powerful, that even Spain's biggest sporting icons couldn't help but applaud him. Just a few years ago, Marquez didn't even know if he would ever return to the top. After the horrific injury he suffered in 2020, his future was uncertain. He had won 6 titles in 7 years with Honda, he had created an era of dominance, yet his entire career was suddenly hanging by a thread. For the first time in his life, Marquez wasn't fighting for victories, he was fighting for survival. So, when he moved to Gresini in 2024, it wasn't a simple transfer. It was a test. A question he needed to answer for himself. Do I still have what it takes? He wanted to feel the pressure again, the adrenaline, the chaos of wheel-to-wheel combat. He wanted to see if his instincts were still alive, if the fire still burned as fiercely as before. And in 2024, he showed glimpses of the old Marc. The fearless overtakes, the late braking, the refusal to surrender. That was enough to trigger the call from Borgo Panigale. Ducati saw the spark, they saw the fire, they believed the legend wasn't done yet. What happened in 2025 proved them right. Marc Marquez's first season with the factory Ducati team was nothing short of phenomenal. He didn't just return to form, he obliterated the competition. He rode with intelligence, aggression, emotion, and maturity, blending everything he had learned in the hardest phase of his career. And at the end of that journey, he was crowned world champion. Once again, a new title, a new chapter, a new legacy. And one day, after receiving the award for his title-winning season, DAZN released a documentary capturing his entire road back to glory. From pain, surgeries, doubt, frustration, to triumph. The opening episode showcased voices that rarely ever come together for one athlete. Rafael Nadal, the tennis legend with 22 Grand Slam titles, spoke with deep admiration. Nadal said he has won everything he had to win and much more, and he has maintained the desire to endure hardship and persevere. That praise carries weight. Nadal isn't just another athlete. He's the symbol of resilience, fighting spirit, and mental warfare. When Nadal acknowledges someone's perseverance, it means he sees a reflection of himself in their story. Then came Pau Gasol, the NBA champion, all-star, and one of Spain's greatest basketball exports. Gasol's words were equally powerful. He said, "The higher you are, the harder the fall. Coming down from those heights is much more noticeable, and it is more difficult to keep your feet on the ground and get back up again." Gasol understood Marquez's struggle on a personal level. Athletes who reach the top know that the pressure isn't just external. It becomes psychological. The crash, the surgery, the doubts, the lost seasons. Gasol saw all of it in Marc's eyes when watching his journey back. Alexia Putellas, one of the greatest footballers in the world and a 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, also shared her thoughts. She spoke about the mental strain of competition mode, how athletes push themselves beyond healthy limits in pursuit of their goals. Her words resonated with Marquez's story. Injuries, burns, fractures, surgery. Marc pushed through everything because racing wasn't just his job, it was his identity. Putellas understood that mindset all too well. Fernando Alonso and Andres Iniesta also contributed to the documentary, further cementing the level of respect Marquez commands across all sports. These weren't casual compliments. These were legends praising a legend. Each one saw something different in Marquez: resilience, discipline, hunger, humility, bravery. But all of them saw something in common: greatness. The 2025 season was more than just a championship win. It was a redemption arc, a comeback from a place most athletes never return from, a journey through pain, sacrifice, disappointment, and hope. And the praise that came after wasn't ordinary praise, it was recognition. Recognition from some of the greatest athletes in Spain's history. Recognition from icons who understand what it means to fall, rise, and conquer again. Recognition from champions who know that greatness isn't measured by victories alone, but by the ability to rise after every fall. Marc Marquez didn't just win another title. He inspired an entire generation of athletes and fans. He reminded the world that legends are not defined by their setbacks, but by their comebacks. And as he prepares for the next chapter of his story, the respect of Nadal, Gasol, Putellas, Alonso, Iniesta, and millions across the world stands right behind him, pushing him forward. Marc Marquez's journey is far from over, and if 2025 was the return, then what comes next might be even greater.